Hello and welcome to my workshop. So in the last video we finished up working on the chassis and the skid plate for the RC Everyday collaboration. The next step we have is to create a shock mount for the front. I believe it's a tractor trailer axle that's turned upright, and then what you do is you mount the shocks to the part where you would normally have the leaf spring if you're going to be on a leaf sprung truck, and those would run up to a center point, and then you would have arms that would run back the length and tie in to the side of the body right here. Okay, so off screen I made this little mount, and it is just a piece of this flat stock that I cut, soldered together in the center, kind of grounded off the top a little bit so it wasn't a sharp point, and then it's going to sit right on the front of the chassis right here, and then I will silver solder that in, and then you'll be able to have a spot where we can mount the shocks right up here at the top. So let's get that soldered on. So I still just amazed at how difficult it is to do anything on camera. You really have to almost be a contortionist, and hats off to everybody on YouTube that out there doing stuff, because it's a pain. But anyway, I was able to get this soldered on the front, and then the next step will be to drill and tap 2 holes. And what I'm going to do is have the shocks, which are 80 millimeters roughly, from 40 millimeters from center either side. This chassis is 65 millimeters to the outside, so the shocks will start just a little bit on the outside of the rail, and they'll come up to a middle point. So I used the tap, and when I drove the holes out, tapped them to a 3 millimeter size. And I also wanted to verify that I wasn't going to get these holes too close. My fear is that if you got them too close, you wouldn't physically be able to put both shocks together. So I just tested that out on my paper using some RC four-wheel drive shocks, because I'm pretty sure that's what he will use, the scale looking shocks up front. These are much longer, but the eyes at the end should be the same size. So I verified those had enough room, and marked, drilled, and tapped the holes. And so now that's pretty much ready. Ready for the front end. I won't be drilling holes on the side because I'll let him get the front mounted, figure out how long it needs to be, and then drill the holes in, so that shouldn't be a big deal for him to do. So, but I think the front end's looking good, and we got to move on to a couple other items. I still have to put a little small piece of metal in here and solder this up. I used this bracket across here to fill in the top one, but I haven't done the bottom yet. And then once I get that done, I can move on to doing some styrene work. Okay, so I was able to get the rough shape of the grill started. This is just made of styrene, and again, this is going to be a Peterbilt 379, which is the how I know it is Optimus Prime. So the shape is the grill is probably a little bit smaller than what would be in scale, but because it's disconnected and the look we're going after, I shrunk this down just a little bit to make it look good with the front end. But the cab is still going to be really nice without the extra pieces on the side and the fenders. Yeah, I think it's going to look really good.